the Socialist Party, Dr. Fred Membe. Sir, welcome once again to Prime TV and specifically welcome to Oxygen of Democracy.
Thank you very much for hosting me, Paul. Thank you.
Awesome. Remember that this is an interactive program. There is a number that you'll see shortly on your screen that it can be part and parcel of the conversation. But also don't forget, we're coming to you live on our various platforms. That is Topstar, GoTV, DSTV, Zuku, and Star Times. But also, we're coming to you live on our various social media platforms. That is Facebook and YouTube. That's Prime TV Zambia. Go there, drop in your comments, questions, and contributions. We'll be glad to hear from you tonight, as always. Dr. Membe, let's begin from home. I like us to begin the conversation on a lighter note, from home. How is the Socialist Party doing? We have 7-8 months or so remaining before we head to the polls in August 2026. How is SP doing?
We are in a struggle. The odds are huge. The challenges are many. One of the biggest challenges we have is our inability to hold rallies. Since 2021, we have applied 33 times to hold rallies. We have never been allowed to hold a single rally in more than 4 years.
All the 33 times?
Yes. Once it was granted in Kitwe in the evening, which was a Friday. Saturday, we tried to make arrangements at the field Changanamai in Kwacha. The police, we found they had taken over the field, and our permit, they said, was cancelled from Lusaka. So, in short, we have never been able to hold a single rally. You can't hold meetings. As political parties, we work through interaction with human beings, with the citizens of this country. And the challenge is not only for the Socialist Party, it's also for all other opposition political parties. Even civil society organizations who wanted to protest and so on, they are not given the opportunity to do so. And it's not only rallies, even town hall meetings, we are denied. Even in meetings with our structures, it's impossible.
Is that the case?
Yes. You can ask any political party in Zambia today other than the UPND. They will tell you the same story.
We have seen Harry Kalaba hold rallies, for example, in Linda. We have seen the New Heritage Party hold rally in Mandevu. Socialist Party is an exception.
If you ask Mr. Kalaba how many times he has applied to get that 1 or 2 or 3 times he got, you will find that the great majority, maybe 99%, were disallowed. So even for those who were lucky to get 1 or 2 or 3 approvals, it hasn't been that good for them. I don't know how they got those 1 or 2 or 3 times.
But Socialists has never been that lucky.
We have never been. There are challenges in Chingola. We would like to go and talk to people in Chingola. We would like to hold meetings with the citizens in Chingola to find out, what is the situation, what are the issues, and so forth, so that we can formulate the solutions. You can't solve problems you don't fully understand. You can't provide solutions to problems that you don't fully understand. To gain that understanding, you have to be on the ground, you have to interact with the people, you have to talk to the people. Today, you go even on the street talking to people, you'll be arrested. You will be harassed by the police and others. So this is one of the biggest challenges. But we are being accused that the opposition is weak. The opposition is weak, yet it's not being allowed to hold meetings with the public, to interact with the public, to share its ideas with the public, to hear the public views on many issues. So we have to depend on programs like this. You calling us here is the only opportunity we have to really meaningfully interact with the Zambian people.
And yet, Dr. Membe, the UPND when they were in opposition, one of the key aspects they promised was that they will ensure that the opposition operate freely, because they saw how infringed their rights were when they were in the opposition under the Patriotic Front, and they promised to ensure that the opposition, runs freely. But once they're in government, you are claiming that they are doing the exact things that the PF were doing. Is that the case?
I'm not even claiming, it's a fact. There are no gray areas for me to claim. It's a fact. When you have been given a permit to hold a rally, it's a fact. You can't deny that you are given. Because they'll come and show that, yes, they applied here, here's the permit that we gave them. Challenge them to come here and show you which application of ours they approved. Yes, they said that in opposition. And they are not the only ones. We had others also, to varying degrees, complain in opposition. UNIP, when they were in government, they didn't realize that, the Public Order Act was a bad law. When they left government, we have the Monondika case of UNIP.
Christian Monondika, yes.
Yes. Which was successful against the Public Order Act. But yet UNIP stayed with that law from 1964 until in the 90s when they were in opposition. They didn't see anything wrong with it. They didn't see it. The PF did the same. They were complaining. They came into power. They never repealed the Public Order Act. The UPND have also taken it to another level of their own. When they were in opposition, they criticize these things. They get into power, they use them as a shield to protect themselves, from political competition. So we have to depend on the public themselves. And that's why it's not wise for us to totally depend on the politicians as the only leaders of our country. I've said it before, politicians are not the only leaders of our country. There are also other leaders who have to participate in the governance of the country. We have the traditional leadership. We have the religious leadership. These are authentic leaders of our country. They have to be listened to, and they need to participate meaningfully, not at the benevolence of politicians. We have also leaders in the trade unions. We have business people. They are also leaders.
But you understand the spirit behind the Public Order Act. We need order. If you, as Socialist Party, are going to have a rally, and Citizens First of Harry Kalaba also wants to have a rally in Woodlands at the same time, it is that Public Order Act that will guide who applied first, just to ensure that there's public order. So it's entirely, it's not a bad law. Do you agree with that? And I'm glad that you are a pundit of the law.
No, it's a bad law.
It's a bad law.
It is a bad law.
That wants to promote order.
That's not the only order that is needed. That order you are talking about, that's not what the public order is about. That's not the essence of the Public Order Act. Understand the essence of things. What you are talking about is very peripheral. If there are two people, trying to hold a meeting at the same place, there are ways that is dealt with. It's even in soccer. We don't have soccer fields everywhere. So there are teams. Even in the compounds, we have teams using the same field. Have you ever heard of people fighting because,
At different times, definitely.
No, there are ways to negotiate
at different
that.
times,
yes,
definitely.
They will definitely negotiate at different times. Our problem is not about opposition party A, opposition party B clashing in one field. That can easily be regulated. Even weddings, there are people who demand to have weddings at the same church. There are funerals that need to take place at the same church at the same time. They are moderated. They are regulated. There are administrative issues or systems used to take care of that. That's not the essence of the Public Order Act, that we clash. We have not had a problem with clashing.
Oh, no,
And
no, no.
that
That would be simplistic in your analysis, Dr. Membe, when we have had instances in the past where the ruling party and the opposition have clashed. In prior to 2021, we had the UPND clashing with the PF in Mandev because they all went in the same constituency at the same time. So you can't claim that they've never clashed.
No, look, that's not the biggest challenge we have had. Yes, you might have had a few incidences of that.
There were injuries recorded there.
Listen to me a little bit. You're interviewing me. Listen to me. We have elections. Even by-elections, a campaign timetable is issued where each group can meet in this place at this time and that time. Those things can easily be agreed upon. We have mechanisms for opposition, for political parties actually to meet and regulate that even among themselves. If today, the issue really about the public order is clashing, we can easily meet, including the UPND, and sit down and agree how to proceed on that. It's not a problem. It's something that we can easily solve. And even where, programs have clashed, there can be mechanism for resolving that and amicably moving forward.
Among us cadres?
Yeah, not cadres, the leaders themselves.
Among us political party members?
Yes.
Like it happened in Mandevo.
Look, let's not focus on trivial things.
Because lives were injured. Injuries of lives cannot be trivialized.
What you are trying to focus on is the peripheral, the easiest issues to resolve. And that's not the essence of the Public Order Act. That's not what it was enacted for. It was enacted from the colonial days. It's a statute that comes from the colonial days, from the 1930s or 1950s, to curb, the liberation movements. And it has been carried forward by successive governments. That's not that what you are trying to focus on is trivial. It's not the essence of the Public Order Act.
Why do you think that all these governments, both before and now the current government, have failed to make changes to this law?
It's to protect themselves. You have a political party that before it gets into government, is opposed to the Public Order Act. It gets into government, it maintains the Public Order Act. It gets out, it wants the Public Order Act out. How do you explain? Probably talk to people who were in MMD, talk to people who were in UNIP, there's still there some, talk to people who were in the PF government. It's really just a matter of degrees.
So can you then rightly say that the complaints that the Zambians had about the state of the opposition and the freedom to operate freely is still a challenge even under this current administration, the same way it was under the Patriotic Front?
At least under the Patriotic Front, we did hold 2 rallies in a space of less than 2 years. We were given 2 permits to hold 2 rallies, one in Kitwe, one in Lusaka. We did hold rallies. And I think a few more others did hold rallies. So it's for you to judge for yourself.
Things are worse.
Who has done better or who has done worse.
Things are worse, Dr. Membe, under the UPND compared to the PF. Is that what you're insinuating here?
I'm not insinuating. It's up to you to show you that we had 2 rallies approved. We had a rally in Kitwe. We had a rally in Lusaka. In less than a period of 1 year, actually. We have had 0 rally approved in more than 4 years with 33 applications. So it's not for me to insinuate. I'm not insinuating. Anybody can judge for themselves. I don't need to make a judgment. I'm simply giving you the facts. Analyze those facts and come to your own conclusion. If this is an improvement, thank you very much.
Let's get to another component, Dr. Membe, I think which is very key. You've been very vocal about the Bill 7, and I'd like to clear this off the way in the course of our conversation quickly. Which is Constitution Amendment number 7 of 2025. I'd like to hear your thoughts on Bill 7, which has now become law, considering that you are strongly opposed to the proposed amendment. But we saw on the 18th of December 2025, our Republican President Hakainde Hichilema, assented this bill into law, which is now part of our laws. The 13 clauses proposed in Bill 7 are now part of our laws. What's your take? This has been done amidst the various concerns from key stakeholders, Oasis Forum, the church, and many opposition political parties have spoken against Bill 7. But despite all these public outcries, the executive, the president, has gone ahead to, make this into law. What's your thought over this?
I think your comments are very valid. Your analysis is very correct. Amidst all the opposition from various stakeholders, as you have correctly pointed out, Mr. Hichilema has gone to enact this law. He defended it. First, he proposed it. He wrote it. He implemented it against all opposition. It was not a law, or it was not an amendment that was even thoroughly discussed or meaningfully discussed in cabinet. It was not something that was reasonably discussed within the UPND itself. It is Mr. Hichilema's constitutional amendment. What we have is a constitution of one man. One person has given us a constitution. We are supposed to give ourselves a constitution. Are we the people? But this one, Mr. Hichilema, has given us a constitution. This is the constitution of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema by Mr. Hakainde Hichilema for Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. It is his. And he didn't hide this. He was telling the Oasis people, he was telling the church and others, why are you not allowing me to make my own constitution? You allowed the others to do so. Why not me? Why not me? So this is his constitution. It's not ours. Members of parliament of the opposition were coerced in all sorts of ways. Some of them blackmailed.
That's an allegation, right?
You are aware of that.
Allegation.
You are aware of that.
As an allegation.
You are aware of it.
No proof.
You are aware of it as an allegation.
No proof.
No, I'm not saying about proof. You are aware.
As a media, we work with evidence. So clearly it's an allegation.
So I'm saying you are aware of those allegations.
Yes.
I'm not the first one making those allegations. Those allegations have been made, isn't it? We had the opposition leaders coerced in all sorts of ways, blackmailed. Some of them, if you don't do A, B, C, D, you'll be arrested because you have got this, you have got that. Yes, today, some of these members of parliament, we are condemning them. I think we are being excessive. There has to be justice with some compassion. When some of these people became MPs, they did not realize this is what they were signing up to. They didn't sign up to be blackmailed in this way, to find themselves in such a situation. These are not things they can cope with. Some of them break. Even biblically. Those who followed Christ, the apostles, they did not sign up to the challenges Christ faced. The betrayal, the trials, the crucifixion, and so forth. Even Peter, Saint Peter, had to deny him. Even Christ himself got into a position where he had to question what himself, asking the Father why he has abandoned him. So you can understand some of these members of parliament of ours. Yes, we may not like what they have done, and we have every reason not to like what they have done. We don't like it. But we have to be a bit compassionate. The situation was difficult.
For the members of parliament?
Yes. It was difficult for them. For most of them, it was difficult to do what they did after making all the promises they made to the public. To capitulate in that way is not normal. These are not generally very bad people, all of them.
So it's okay to betray the Zambia. You understand the betrayal.
We are calling that betrayal. Many people are saying they betrayed it because they were expected not to support. And they pledged not to support. And they were supported for the pledge of not going to support the bill. But as things turned out, they voted for it. Some of them are talking. You may say it's allegations, but I can tell you I've spoken directly to some of them. And the explanations I'm giving of blackmail is what they're saying themselves.
You've spoken to some of the MPs?
Yes.
And they've confirmed?
Yes. These are our friends. We work together. We are in the opposition together.
That they've been blackmailed?
I am telling you. That's what they are saying. They are saying this and that and that. Who wants to be arrested?
If they have no case, why are they scared?
We don't have the same degree of lack of fear. They have seen how some of their friends have gone to prison over matters that they could have been acquitted on. We have seen. So you can't blame them. Somebody comes to you and say, Paul, you had an accident, you had hit that person there. So if you don't vote for Bill 7 tomorrow, we are getting you arrested. And you will go in. But no, it doesn't matter. You go back home, you tell your wife, this is what they are saying. The madam says, we don't want you to be in prison. Just go and give them the vote. These are some of the things that have happened.
Then it means we don't have quality members of parliament.
It's not quality.
Human beings are selfish. They're looking at their interests and the interests of their children beyond the interest of the people that put them into office.
Not necessarily that all the time. I said they did not sign up to end up this way. When you go to parliament, when you become a member of parliament, you don't expect to be treated in this way, to be blackmailed in this way, to be coerced in this way, to be subjected to such situations. Yes, we don't like what they did, but we have to be a bit compassionate. I don't think we should crucify all of them.
So even the decision by the PF to expel those that voted for Bill 7, you do not support it?
No, they have the right to do so as a party. They have the right to do so. They are not the first ones. Parties have got rules. Just the way the country has laws, but justice without compassion can be something else. So they have the right to do what they did. Mr. Sata did it before. He expelled 22 MPs in 2010 for becoming part of the NCC, which was a constitution-making process, not even an enactment. They disobeyed the party order to get out of the NCC. He expelled 22 of them. We thought he was mad. But those 22, I don't think any of them ever became an MP since 2010. None of them has ever become an MP again. That was the end of their political career, of their parliamentary careers. So what the PF has done is legally permissible.
Dr. Mr. Cornelius Moito, Honorable Cornelius Moito, has said the opposite. You said it's a nullity. They were simply exercising their constitutional mandate as members of parliament.
They were in opposition also. What did they do? When Bill 10 came, what did they do? Didn't Mr. Ichilema abandon all of them at his house and closed the gate until after? It's a fact. Some of them, I can even tell you, were paid money by PF to support Bill 10 in opposition.
UPND MPs?
Yes.
They were paid money? And you're aware about that. It's not a simple allegation, no?
No, well, you can treat it the way you want to treat it, but it happened. It happened. But they didn't have the opportunity to go and vote.
Because President Hichilema then locked them out.
Outmaneuvered them, yes. They were locked out.
How do you put a distinct between the responsibility and the mandate of members of parliament that they have to the people in their constituencies, but also the need for them to follow the directives of the party? Where is the distinct? Because I think Dr. Membe, you've been in this longer than any other person. You know how the conversation has been about the loyalty members of parliament are expected to have towards their party, but also the mandate that they get from the people and the interests of the people, sometimes which might be in conflict with the directives of the party. How do we put a distinct between the two? I heard, for example, this morning we heard from the tabloids, the member of parliament for the PF in Mandevu saying, I heard from the people. The people in Mandevu told me to vote for Bill 7, talking about Christopher Shakafuswa. But yet the party had made a different directive to all their members of parliament. Where is the distinct between hearing the directives of the party, but also respecting the wishes of the people that put you into office?
We are not the only parliamentary system in the world. Maybe the first one, the oldest one, is the Westminster parliamentary system. You have a choice to go to parliament as an independent, where you are not under the control of anybody else other than yourself and the people who voted for you. Also, you have the choice to go to parliament under a party ticket, under an apparatus called a party. When you belong to a party, there will be a whip for you. There will be an opposition whip. There will be also a ruling party whip or the chief whip. You don't do as you please. You are controlled. If you belong to a party, you belong to a party. If you are an independent, you are an independent, and the choice is yours. If you go to parliament on a party ticket, you'll be controlled by the party.
And it's okay?
That's what the system is. It's the system for the UPND, it's the system for all the parties, and it's not only in Zambia. You go to the UK today, you find that. There's a difference between an independent member of parliament and a party member of parliament. When you go on a party ticket, you are sponsored by that party to go and follow its policies. You are not directly with the people. What the people tell you has to go through the party as well. That's the way the system operates. It operates like that for the UPND.
What the people tell you, you have to just go to the party.
Yes, you are a member of the party. You are a member of the party. That's why even in the new constitution, the constitution Mr. Hichilema has put across, the party can remove you from parliament. The party can expel you and also replace you without an election. That's what Mr. Hichilema has done in the new constitution. That's the law now. The party, if you offend your party can remove you, expel you from the party and remove you from parliament. And without an election by the people, take another person to replace you. And with the replacement, you will act the same way with the one who was directly elected. Just 1 week in parliament, you can be expelled. So for the rest of the 4 years plus, you'll be a party representative. And you are directed by the party. So the party has the right to discipline its members. That's why there are whips. They are leaders over the opposition and so forth. It's to guide you, to direct you on what to do. The party that sponsors you doesn't lose control after your election. If you are elected on a party ticket, you have to toe the party line. If you don't want
Even
to
if it's against the views of the people in the constituency.
yes, you have to harmonize the views of the people with the views of the party.
Because the party line has always been criticized, and you know that.
If you have problems with your party in the constituency, with your constituents as a party, as an MP, you can take your party there to go and reconcile your differences, the party policy and the people's views. That's why the party has structures there. It has got a constituency chairman usually and others. You are not operating alone. If there are problems as an MP, your views and those of the party and of the people, you have to resolve that within the apparatus of your party. And then you go to parliament with one position that is agreeable to the party. But you don't need to do that if you're an independent. If you're an independent, it's direct. If you're not an independent, it's indirect. That's why in the amended constitution, the party has powers to remove you if you are offending that party. If you are offending the party that sponsored you to parliament, that party will remove you and replace you without an election. You won't say, no, I was directly elected by the people, I've just differed with you, I've not differed with the people.
So the interests of the party supersedes the interests of the constituency members.
But yes, but you have got a choice. You have got a choice. If you don't want it to be controlled by an apparatus, you go it as an independent.
The day you choose to be part of the party, you follow what the party says.
If you choose to be part of the party, you have to follow the party discipline. And it's in all organizations. I can be a Christian without belonging to a church. Direct from me to my God. I represent myself, no one in between. I worship on my own, direct to my Father, my Creator. But I can choose to be part of a religious institution, or even to be a pastor or a priest in that order. I have to abide by the doctrine of that church. I have to abide by the doctrine of that church. If the church tells me this cannot be done, it can't be done.
Even if you feel otherwise?
Yes, I belong to that church. If my church tells me there's no polygamy in this church, I can't say, no, to hell with you, I'm going to marry another wife. I have the choice to leave the church. I have the choice to leave the church and do what I wanted to do, or else I'll be excommunicated.
Surely, Dr. Membe, can we say that there are no good provisions in the new law now that we have? Because many stakeholders that have been critical of Bill 7, which is now part of law, amendment number 7 of the laws of Zambia of 2025, many have painted a picture as if that all the provisions that were in Bill 7 are wrong. Can we sit here and indicate that all the provisions that were being suggested in Bill 7 are wrong? Can we be right to sit here and conclude that aspect?
I think that question was very well answered by Mr. Hichilema himself in opposition. Poison put in any sweet things, it doesn't change anything. A little poison put in a bucket of sweet things.
Your man's poison.
Basically, that's what the man.
Among us, those 13, can we claim to the Zambians out there that has been poisoned?
No, look, in all, what has happened is, firstly, when you look at the process, Mr. Hichilema has assumed all the powers to make the constitution on his own. He has made this constitution on his own. This is his constitution. We are not interested in one individual's constitution or one party's constitution. The constitution is not a partisan document. It doesn't belong and it shouldn't belong to a political party. But this has been made very clear to everybody who is honest or wants to see things in an honest way that this is Mr. Hichilema's constitution. It was defended, it was proposed by him, defended by him, and his associates. Nobody else. Nobody who is not connected, who is not a sympathizer of UPND went with it. Who you can say this person is opposed to UPND but just supports UPND on this, there's no other connection. So this is their constitution. You know, Mandela said something very profound in 1994. After the elections of 1994, the African National Congress got 62% of the votes. Mandela says, I'm very happy that we have not gotten 2/3, because I don't want the ANC to be in a position to make a constitution that is ANC, where ANC goes to parliament, changes the constitution on its own. Mandela didn't want that. What Mr. Hichilema has done is to change the constitution by force.
There were 11,864 people that made submissions drawn from all the provinces of the country. How can we claim that it is Mr. President that did this all by himself when there was a committee instituted to consult the rest of the Zambians, and 11,000 people made the submissions?
Let's start with the committee. Who appointed that committee?
Of course, it's the president, but they went around the people.
Who did he consult?
Does he need to consult people?
No, I'm asking you, who did he consult?
No, but the question is, does he need to consult people? Which legal provisions provides for that?
Okay, so it was his. He appointed this committee. You are saying it came with the 11,000 submissions. You have seen them? You have seen those submissions?
We saw them going around the country.
No, you saw the submissions. You are talking about 11,000.
We covered most of them anyway.
No, I'm asking you a very direct question because I've not seen those 11,000. I've not seen where they are published. Where are they? So that I can go and look at them. I'm literate.
There's a 174-page report that has been submitted to the
with all those submissions.
Yes.
If my friend made a submission, I can go and find it. It's published. How many constitutional review commissions have you followed in your life? I've followed from 1991 to date. They publish. You know, and I was in the media for 27 years. We were having access to the submissions. And even today, those submissions are there. You can find them. They are published. If you made a submission in 1996 or 1991 or any time, you'll find your submission. So have you seen where those submissions have been published and what those submissions are? Have you seen them? How have those submissions been included in Bill 7? Was Bill 7 drafted before the submissions, or it was drafted after the submissions, or it was drafted during the submissions or with the submissions? Sir, there are problems.
Have you read the 174-page report that the Mushabati-led committee submitted to the executive, which is in public domain? Have you read it?
I don't lie, I have not read them.
So how are you speaking on a document you haven't read?
The report?
Yes.
I'm talking about the submissions.
Yes.
Have you read the submissions?
The report compiles the submissions from the 11,864 people. So how are we speaking on a report?
That's what constitutes Bill 7.
There are submissions here. Yes.
That's what constitutes Bill 7.
Yes.
Sir, I followed the proceedings.
But you haven't read the report.
No. Look,
like you've said here, clearly.
No. Look, let's have respect for facts. Let's look at the process, the way it was done. Which came first?
The report.
The report came first before Bill 7.
No, there was a committee that was instituted.
No. I'm asking you. Since you want to challenge me on facts, I'll also challenge you. And unfortunately, you are putting yourself in a position where you are presenting certain things as your facts. So I'll challenge you because this is coming from you. There was Bill 7 before the technical committee.
Everyone knows that, yes.
What changed? Tell me what changed because of the technical committee report.
It was withdrawn, right? And the committee was instituted to go and consult the people.
Yes, I'm asking you, don't evade the question. What changed in Bill 7?
I'm not the one answering questions here, Dr.
No,
Mende.
but you are putting up facts.
You will not
You are
change the
putting.
laws.
No, I'm not
between
changing the
interviewer
rules.
and the
You
interviewee.
can't start presenting facts here, matters as facts here. Then you don't want to be answerable for those
The
facts.
question is very
No,
simple,
it's not
Dr.
questions
Mende.
you are putting. You are putting as facts.
The question is
If
very
you put
simple.
as questions, yes, the questions will be answered. But if you try to put matters as facts, I will challenge you to those facts.
Exactly.
Yes,
My
and-
question
no,
remains,
let's
Dr.
go
Membe,
back.
and I'm very serious about this.
No, I'm also serious.
My question remains, Dr. Membe, have you read that report that
No,
the
I'm
Mushabati led
I'm
committee
asking you.
submitted to the
I'm
executive?
asking you. I'm asking you. Is that Bill 7 based on the technical committee report?
That's for Zambians to answer.
You are presenting as matters of fact
That's
here.
for Zambians to answer, not me.
Okay, then I also tell you that for Zambians to answer. Yes. What I'm telling you is present facts that you can defend. Ask you questions, I'll give you the answers. But if you present certain matters as facts to me,
But how
and
can-
you want to challenge me on
But how
that,
can I ask questions from the report that you haven't read?
no, look, it doesn't. It's not part of the Bill 7 that was there. How did the technical committee come about? What was the basis of the technical committee? How did it come about?
There were terms of reference given to
How
them
did it come
based
about?
on the public outcry of the people, and also that many Zambians were not consulted widely. And if you pay
So,
attention
you
to...
see, now
to
you
the-
are answering a question I've asked you because you are choosing what to answer and not to answer. When it suits you, you don't want to answer a question.
Because
from
I'm
me.
not in the position to be
No.
answering questions here.
Yes, you are answering a question. I've asked you a question, you're answering because you think it suits you. The technical committee came as the result of the Constitutional Court ruling. There was already a Bill 7. That Bill 7 has not changed because of what the technical committee did.
That may not be quite accurate
No,
because...
we read Bill 7 before the technical
Dr.
committee
Membe.
report. We have read Bill 7 after the technical
allow me to
committee
present
report.
a few facts here, Dr. Membe.
There was Bill 7 before the technical committee report.
Allow me-
There was Bill 7 after the technical committee report.
Well understood.
I'm asking you, what are the changes as a result of the technical committee report?
Well understood, Dr. Membe. You understand that there was a parliamentary select committee that was established, led by the Nalolo member of parliament, the PNUP.
No, look.
Allow me to finish my
Let's move on
statement.
and waste time.
Allow me to finish my statement.
I think let's move on.
Allow me to finish my statement.
Finish.
because This is very important. Every other stakeholder that was invited at the National Assembly to speak on that report were speaking to the report released by the Mushabati-led committee. They were speaking to the facts and content of that report.
You are saying
Every stakeholder except Laz. Laz is the only
Laz was
stakeholder
not only the only
that
stakeholder.
refused to speak on that.
Laz represented was also accompanied by the Oasis Forum. The Oasis Forum represents not only Laz. It represents the mother church bodies. It represents NGOCC. It represents Laz itself. They stated clearly why they did not submit it to that. I'm a member of Laz. I'm a member of the Law Association of Zambia, which also means I'm a member of Oasis Forum by representation.
The only institution that submitted the opposite.
I also, not only a member of the Law Association of Zambia, I'm also a member of one of the mother church bodies that was presented in the Oasis Forum.
Which is?
The Catholic Church, through our bishops. The president of the Catholic bishops, was there, Archbishop Chama. So I'm represented by two bodies there. I respect the position that my association, the Law Association of Zambia, took, and I agree with it. It represents my views. I also accept the position taken by the Catholic Church leadership on this, as represented by Archbishop Chama. I'm not a freelancer. I belong to these organizations. And what they did is exactly what I agree with.
Are there any clauses, as I move on to other matters, Dr. Membe, are there any clauses that you are extremely uncomfortable with in that bill 7, which is not part of law?
Look, the position that
As
has
I move
been,
away from this subject.
the position taken is the whole thing is a poisoned chalice.
So there's no clause that is progressive.
I'm not here to discuss the clauses that are there. The whole process is wrong, and the constitutional amendment is not acceptable. Finished.
Even if it's
That's the Akainde Ichilemazi constitution.
Even if it's law now.
We'll live with it. Yes, it's law. We'll obey it. We don't have a choice. There's a monopoly over that, over the enforcement of laws. You don't only obey laws that you agree with. Law is law. You don't have a choice. And there's enforcement.
Guess just joining us, Monday edition, we feature the president of the Socialist Party, Dr. Fred Membe. We're discussing can the opposition unite? We're coming to you live on various platforms, on Topstar, Go TV, DSTV, Zuku, StarTimes. Also coming to you live on our social media platform, that is Prime Television Zambia. That's on Facebook as well as YouTube. You can be a part and parcel of this conversation. We are always excited, always glad hearing from you. You can drop in your comments, questions, and contributions. Our guest tonight, Dr. Membe, will be glad to respond to your questions. Time allowing, later on, we should be able to open the phone lines, and you can be a part and parcel of this conversation. I'm your host for tonight. My name is Poshingongo, standing in for Nick Shabalio, who is attending to other equally important engagements, but I'll be with you Monday next week at the same time. Let's get to the issue of the opposition, unity. Millions of Zambians agree on one thing, Dr. Membe, that the opposition is divided, mistrusted, failing to inspire confidence. Zambians hear the cause for unity, but they don't see issues to do with compromise. Do you genuinely want opposition unity, or you want unity on your terms? And I'm speaking this with a few things that have happened in the past. I'm sure you can agree with me. The state of the opposition. Look at what's happening, for example, in the Patriotic Front, which, arguably, based on the numbers, is the largest opposition political party, based on the number of seats that they hold in the National Assembly. It's a story that we can talk about for hours. But do you genuinely want opposition unity as the opposition, or you want unity on your terms?
That's a lot, Paul. It's a lot. I've never heard any human being, at least one who is sane, say, I don't want unity. Probably you have. Probably you have. If you have, let me know. We want unity. Human beings are not solitary creatures. We usually band up for certain causes that we seek or we pursue. Opposition unity is a necessity. But it's not only opposition unity that is required. For us to move forward as a country, as a nation, we need unity of all our people. We need the unity of all our people. The challenges we face are huge. One group of our society cannot deal with those challenges on their own. That's why even the leadership of this country, we in the Socialist Party are saying, we can't continue like this. Ichilefu ikwate kuchinja fichi panichile teka nakateka olipo. Kuchinje mitekere. kuchinja emitekere so that we involve more people, more of our leaders to participate meaningfully in the governance of our country. For over 60 years now, tuletekwa fikuli ba politician beka, as if they are the only leaders of our country. Yet twalikuwa temfu mushesu, the traditional leaders, twalikuwa tabashima pepo besu, the religious leaders. We have the trade union leaders, we have the business leaders, we have the intellectual leaders, we have even yourselves as media. You have a stake in the governance of this country. You may not realize it, you play a very big role in the governance of this country. And that role must be played, not on the terms of the politicians or at the benevolence of the politicians. That's why some people call you the fourth estate. Yes, it may be rhetorical, but indeed you are. And if you are, you should play that part of the estate responsibilities if the country has to be governed in a better way. We need broader participation. And that broader participation requires unity. To unite, it means we have to learn how to negotiate with others. We will need to learn how to compromise with others. We will need to learn how to arrive at some consensus with others. And all that requires give and take. It requires trust, and that trust must be built. It doesn't come like that. Trust comes out of working together to solve certain problems together. You build that trust. With the trust, you have increased cooperation. So we are facing a challenge with the opposition. A fragmented opposition will not be able to deal with the challenges of changing government. The unit that we are seeking for the 2026 election is not a strategic unit, it's a happenstance unit. And happenstance unity is not easy to achieve.
Why?
It's not usually anchored on very strong principles. It's a unit to get something done, to get something happen. It's a happenstance. You want something to happen, so the unit is happenstance. It's not a strategic alliance, which is anchored on very, very strong principles.
Is that the reason why most of these alliances in the past, and you can go back to history, you know this better, we've had various alliances being formed in the country. Is that the reason why most of these have failed to stand strong?
Yes, because most of them are anchored on power sharing. Who becomes president? Who becomes the vice president? Who takes what position? Who takes this or that constituency, and so on. Those are very, very difficult things. And many fail to agree on those things in most of the alliances we have tried to have. But if there's a national agenda that is put before all these other things, it becomes much easier to agree. Because when you have a national agenda, you see clearly what needs to be done. And you look among yourselves, who is the best person to deal with this, to deal with that, to deal with that. Personal ambition, personal agenda are driven much to the background. What we have in these electoral pacts is personal agenda at the fore, personal ambition at the fore. And that's not easy to deal with. And especially where people believe the next elections will be so easy to achieve. Whoever stands, even if it's a frog, will win. When people start to believe such things, it's difficult to convince anybody that they can't get it. They can't be the presidential candidates. They can't be the running mates. It becomes a casino where everybody goes to the casino to gamble. This one is coming with 1,000 kwacha. This one is coming with 100 kwacha. The one who is getting in the casino with 100 kwacha wants to get out of the casino with more than the one who went in with 1,000 kwacha. That's gambling. And it's acceptable in gambling. But to bring that order to political leadership, it becomes a bit more complicated. to convince somebody who is coming in with 1,000 kwacha to go with less than somebody who has come in with 100 kwacha, it becomes very complicated. And how do you value what each person is bringing? There are so many issues that arise. I form a party today. Tomorrow I come to the table for alliances. I want to be treated the same way, and it's agreed, everybody the same. I want also to be the presidential candidate. Although I just registered my party yesterday. So others will say, no, we have been working, we have structures, we have this and that. The person who just formed this party will say, no. Bring the proof of those structures. What votes did you get in the last elections? But that's a last election. We are not talking about the next election. No, there's no proof of this and that. How many MPs do you have? How many councillors do you have? How many councils do you control, and so on? You find they can't agree. We have been on this path for over a year of trying to get into alliances, but it's not easy. But society or life in general is not about easy things. Difficult as it may be, is a necessity. If we continue with this government next year, we have already seen what Mr. Hichilema can do with his Bill 7. We have seen the behavior. We have seen the inability or the unwillingness to listen to others. We have seen the cruelty. We have seen the intolerance over the last 4 years plus. We have seen the tribalism that has hit this country over the last 4 years. We have seen the corruption that is there, the grand corruption that is not the petty cash corruption we're used to. We are headed for a disaster. We can't continue with this government.
You are indicating that.
Let me finish. Give me a chance to finish. If we don't unite, it may be very difficult to overcome these challenges. The poverty levels are rising. We used to talk about national average poverty of 54%. Today we are talking of 60%. We used to talk about poverty of 20.2% in Lusaka. Today we are talking of 27% poverty in Lusaka. We used to talk about 30.8% poverty levels on the Copper Belt. Today we are talking about 35.9% poverty on the Copper Belt. Today we have national average poverty of 31.8% from 23.4%. These are not small challenges to fight with or to deal with. Where I come from, Muchinga, Chinsari, we are enduring poverty levels today of 82.6%. 82.6% from 69.3%. It was 69.3%, now it's 82.6%. Muchinga is the poorest province, the whole country. The second is Western Province, with 78.6%. Number 3 is the Northern Province, with 78.6%. Then we have Luapula, with 77.3%. Number 5, Eastern Province, with 76.4%. These are very high poverty levels. Very, very high poverty levels. We have a crisis. We can't continue on this basis. And there's no acknowledgement. Although the figures I'm giving you are coming from Zamstats, they are not coming from my head. These are government figures, or figures from a government agency. Yes, there were disputes with the statistics that were produced. You remember the debate that was there. But these are the figures. They have not been revised. They have not been changed. That's the official figures we have. We can't continue on this basis. We have never seen the divisions of this country the way we have seen it. Yes, we used to have divisions. We used to have tribal issues, but not to this level. We used to have political differences, especially over the constitution, but not to this level. We can't continue to be governed this way.
That is understood.
We were warned by KK, we didn't listen.
What was the warning?
I know. KK? There's only one person I can't go to sleep peacefully if he becomes the president of this country. You remember that clip is there.
The Zambians might not know that clip.
Where KK did not warn us about Hakainde becoming president, that he would divide this country, would destroy this country. And indeed, what KK said is what is happening today. This gentleman has divided this country in a way that it has never been divided before. Politically, tribally, economically, and so forth.
But
we have
Dr. Membe,
the highest...
Allow me to come in, Dr. Membe.
Yes, I know
Yeah.
it touches you. I know you're sensitive about that.
No,
Go
it's
ahead.
not me. I'm speaking on behalf of the Zambians, so please.
No, you're speaking on behalf of yourself. I'm also speaking on behalf of the
I'm
Zambian
speaking on
people.
behalf of the Zambians, so let's differentiate that.
Who
aspect.
voted for you?
Yeah, let's differentiate that aspect so that you don't
Yeah.
label me. That'd be very unfair on my part, Dr. Membe.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I know,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah,
You are
so-
concerned. Yes,
yeah,
go
so
ahead.
Allow me to come in, because also many people have indicated, look, the state of the economy is better than it was under the previous regime. Look at, for example, the GDP, for example, way better than it was. Look at the debt, levels that were during the Patriotic Front and what they are now under the UPND. Look at the various interventions that the UPND has been able to put in place. Many have indicated, look at the increased allocation of CDF, for example. The UPND themselves have indicated that this is a game changer. Look at the free education that was not there in the previous administration, that is now there up to the secondary school. Look at the enhanced social cash transfer and the increased allocation. All these things, are we going to put a blind eye to all these interventions, Dr. Membe?
Thank you very much, Bapu. If we had time, I could go through all these grand things you have listed. But I don't think we have that much time to go through all that. I can only sum it up in this way. It's not what I say that really matters. It's not the criticism that I put that really matters. Equally, it's not the praise that the praise singers shower on this regime. It's not the claims. They say we have achieved this, we knew this, we knew that really matters. What really matters at the end of the day is what the people feel. It's what the people experience every day. It's what each household goes through every day. If our people, the great majority of our people, are eating well, they have electricity for the number of hours that is reasonable. They have access to clean water, even during the rain season like this time. Proper sanitation. They have jobs for themselves and for their relatives. They have affordable transportation. They don't need any money for their children to go to school. The shoes are cheap enough. The books are priced reasonably. There's food for their children before they go to school, during school, and after school. They have all the basic necessities they need. They can afford them. And they don't need to wake up after 1 hour or 2 hours of sleep doing some calculus on how to feed the family tomorrow. And they are happy. My criticism would have no value. But equally, if those things are not there, people are enduring these hardships. The kwenyu who have no meaning. The so-called free education, CDF, and so forth, all the things you have mentioned, that they like mentioning. This is what the UPND sings about. What we are listing is from the hymn book of UPND, from the hymn book of Mr. Hichilema. That's what he wants to be propagated. That's what he wants us to believe. If indeed it's true, Zambians will be so happy. Nobody would criticize him or would have meaningful criticism. I would come here and waste your time and the viewers' time talking about what I'm talking about. Because what exists is different from what I'm saying. Nobody would throw stones at him on the Copper Belt. Today, to go to the Copper Belt, Mr. Ichilema has to be surrounded by battalions of police officers and other security personnel. Because the situation is so nice on the Copper Belt. People are so happy on the Copper Belt with free education, with increased CDF, with the debt reduction, and with all the things you have mentioned here. They are so happy on the Copper Belt. They are so happy everywhere. They are so happy in Lusaka. You are so happy, Paul, about the life you are living. Everything is fine with you. There's a huge improvement in your living conditions. So probably I'm wasting time being here talking about these things. I should also join the praise singers. All our radio stations, all our television stations should only host the praise singers, because that's the reality before our eyes. But things are not that way.
As we begin to wrap up this conversation, Dr. Membe, when you last appeared on this program, I remember we did co-host you with Nick on that particular edition. You mentioned that there was an opposition formation that was in the offing, and that it would be announced in just weeks. According to your words, you said in 2 weeks or less, the presidential candidate for 2026 was going to be announced. It's now months. It's quiet. What has happened?
As I told you, Paul, I don't tell lies.
You said 2 weeks.
Yes.
It's been months. It was a lie.
I don't no, it wasn't a lie. Getting something wrong and it doesn't happen is not a lie. Factors beyond my control. I was made to believe that was possible. I didn't lie.
What's the status?
That formation has disintegrated. It's no longer there.
The People's Pact?
No, not the People's Pact. It was going under the unofficial name of United Opposition Front.
United Opposition Front has since disintegrated?
Yes, other formations have come up and so on.
Why has it disintegrated, Dr. Membe?
Disagreements.
Who are the major players in this front?
There were many, including Tonse and the PF. They were part of the United Front. Those who were in Uka also came in the United Front. Were a few left. We were in there.
It has since disintegrated.
All are the same issues I was mentioning. The primarily is even how to choose a flag bearer, when to choose a flag bearer, how to choose that flag bearer, and so on.
You couldn't agree?
Yeah, there was disagreements. And those disagreements became nasty.
It became nasty?
Yes. But also what you must realize, opposition unity is desired by the Zambian people. It's being called for by the Zambian people. It's being sought even by the opposition political players themselves. But there are also other people in society who do not want that unity, who are working day and night to ensure that opposition unity is not achieved. And that's the UPND. The UPND does not want a united opposition. And rightly so, it's not an issue. It's not a crime, a criminal offense for them not to want it to.
Are you blaming the UPND for the disintegration of the United Front?
It's a fact that the UPND has also infiltrated the opposition badly. And we saw it on Monday last week.
What happened?
Over Bill 7. The divisions that it has caused in PF stroke Tonse are huge. The PF is no longer what it was before Monday last week. They have to overcome those divisions. They have to overcome those challenges. And they are deepening.
You have I'm in need of time, but you have in recent days increasingly been seen in the company of the Patriotic Front leadership. Are you part of Tonse Alliance now, or is there a political formation that we may have missed?
We are not part of Tonse.
You are not part of Tonse?
Yes, we are not part of Tonse. But we are part of the opposition. We are part of the opposition, and because we are part of the opposition, we have to collaborate, we have to cooperate with other members of the opposition. Yes, you saw me in Chawama.
Yes, I was coming to that.
Yes, you saw me in Chawama. We had a meeting the other Saturday, not this past Saturday, the other Saturday, which was called by Honorable Chimba Kambwiri to try and field one candidate in Chawama. It was his initiative, and a very good initiative. Thanks for that. We tried to cooperate to field one candidate. It didn't work out. We honored our part of the deal to cooperate, and we decided to support the Tonse candidate under FDD in Chawama. And that's what we have to, that's why you saw me in Chawama. It's not the first time we did it. We did it in Rumezi. The United Front I was talking about, the Opposition United Front, had asked all of us to field one candidate, to select one candidate and field that one candidate in Rumezi. We had meetings. 2 of us agreed, the others didn't agree. We cooperated with the Tonse. We fielded one candidate, Goodson Banda, in Rumezi. We supported him. We didn't easily agree to that. Our friends in Tonse, in the PF, insisted they have to field. So we said, okay, take. And we will support you. Even in Chawama, they were insistent. There were others who were saying, you can't. For the purpose of trying to move forward with unity, someone has to give in.
Yeah.
We compromised.
Was parties like NDC, NCP, CF for very kind of a part of that meeting that you had?
I don't want to mention people who are not here. What I'm comfortable is to mention those I've mentioned. But there were more. There were enough.
I'm asking this on purpose because you've seen these parties from the opposition fielding separate candidates.
Yes. Why I don't want to do that is to be seen to be antagonistic to those who have fielded.
So
like I'm undermining.
You will not disclose whether they were part of that meeting?
Yes, I'll not. For the sake of unity and not be seen to be undermining other people.
If the opposition unity required someone else to be presidential candidate, would you accept it?
If you want to unite with others, you have to be ready to give and take. If you go into unity to say it has to be me at any cost, it won't work. It won't work from the very beginning. It won't work. We are ready to subordinate ourselves to the collective good. There can be only one candidate if we want one candidate. If we want more than one candidate, yes, it's possible for many of us to be candidates. But if we want only one opposition candidate, we have to accept that it may be you, it may not be you. With or without us, this country should move forward. What is important for us to have a national agenda that moves our people out of the current challenges they are facing, the current situation they are facing. And with a clear national agenda, our objectives will be achieved, with or without us, as long as we are near to that process and we are relevant to that process.
My director is hinting to me that my time is up, but in conclusion, Director, just let me conclude this aspect. If unity falls again, what's your fallback strategy for 2026 as Socialist Party?
The Socialist Party held a Congress last year in September. The mandate was we are contesting the 2026 elections, but go out and seek cooperation with others, seek alliances with others. So if we achieve the alliances, we will go with the alliances, or whatever comes out of those alliances.
You will go with them?
Yes. If we don't, we'll still go it on our own. But we have a mandate to do our best to achieve opposition unit. We are mandated by our last Congress to do that.
Are you concerned, Dr. Membe, with the state of the Socialist Party, with the recent resignation of your members? Isn't that a concern on the strength and formidability of the Socialist Party?
Paul, it's unfortunate. I may laugh. Whenever I come here, I'm asked that question. Even if you know it's 1 year ago since last people resigned. Those people resigned 2 years ago, they'll still be brought. I will still be asked the same question. How many people resigned? How many people were fired? And so forth. Very few. Nobody's talking about people who have resigned from PF. Nobody ever talks about people who resigned from UPND. Nobody talks about people who are resigning from all these parties. Do a small audit and see. People move. And even those you know who left, is this the first party they left? Where did they come from? They were novices in politics. We just got them straight from the cradle into the Socialist Party. And since they left, has the Socialist Party crumbled? Let me tell you, more than probably half of the membership of SP today comes from other parties. A huge number comes from PF. We have people, a huge number that comes from UPND and others from other parties. The ones who have received from other parties are far, far more than those who left us.
Far, far more.
Far, far less, I mean. Sorry, far, far less. So it's not an issue.
It's not an issue when people leave you.
It's not an issue.
When people leave you.
But which institution is not losing people? Including yourselves here. How many people have left this wonderful television station to go to other media organizations? Even churches. How many people have left these churches? Or even resigned from pastorship, priesthood, and so on? How many? How many people have left various institutions in society? Show me one institution where people have not resigned. We have even people who have resigned as chiefs in this country. Have those chieftaincies crumbled? They have not found people to replace them. My church still stands strong and is growing very strongly. How many priests have we lost? We had Father Frankie Bwaria, he left the priesthood. Has the Catholic Church crumbled?
What an example to give.
No, it's a public thing. I can't talk about those who are not in the public domain. I'm talking about somebody who is in the public domain.
Who is in the political space. Anyway.
Yes.
What a good example.
Yes. Has the Catholic Church crumbled because Father Bwaria left? Wasn't Father Bwaria part of PF? Wasn't he a member of another party before PF? Wasn't he a member of another party after PF? Didn't he go back to PF? Didn't he leave PF to come and join SP? After SP has gone to UPND. So, how many people left UPND? Even now, as a ruling party, our provincial vice chairperson on the Copper Belt, Regan Kashinga, was UPND. He was a parliamentary candidate for UPND in 2021. He narrowly lost. Narrowly. He left UPND to join us. He's our vice presidential chairperson for the Copper Belt. Has UPND crumbled because Regan has joined us? Do you talk about him? Have you ever heard anybody talk about it?
Dr. Membe, let me get your concluding remarks as we wrap up this conversation.
Bulela no kuchabulacha. Every morning, every night has this morning. It gets dark sometimes. but the morning comes. There are challenges. It's painful for a parent to get home. It's dark. There's no power. There's no food. There's nothing. Tapali amalasha. The children have nothing to eat. Facing so many challenges. Alala kotulo for 1 hour, 2 hours, utulo twapwa. Trying to work out how tomorrow will be. These are the challenges our people, the great majority of our people, are facing every day. It's tough. Yes, our leaders are posturing. They are praising themselves. Kuliamataki all the time. It's hard. It's really hard. But let's not give up. Let's not lose hope. It will be better one day. If we struggle, we will win and improve the living conditions of our people.
Dr. Membe, I want to sincerely appreciate you for finding time to come through on tonight's edition of Voice of Democracy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Awesome.